This episode, Gorilla Pies in Valley Village. Let me do it again. Today's episode, Gorilla Pies in Valley Village. No?
That's totally fine. So, Gorilla Pies.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this one.
Yep. Why are you excited?
Yup. Why? Because it was great. It was great. It's the best pizza I've had. The best pizza.
Okay. And what's interesting about that is you would normally think, oh, you would probably find the better pizza in Hollywood or downtown or, in the city.
Okay.
But we found it in a kind of a corner of the valley called Valley Village, and it's called Gorilla Pies.
Yeah.
And it's in a very unassuming location. It's if you didn't know it was there, you probably would have a very hard time finding it. It's tucked back in the back end of a strip mall, in a not a very busy area. It's not a heavy trafficked area.
No.
And it's a very small space. So if you did not know it was there, you probably just zoom right by it. And that's how we found it. Actually, it was a couple people had recommended it, and so we went and tried it out.
Yeah, it was great. One of what I thought was one of the best pizzas I've ever had was Hail Mary, which we gave a great review to, but This was the best out of everything we've had so far. It was really, really good.
It was.
And the owner came over and talked to us, and we were raving to him about how great it was.
It was a very friendly place.
Yeah.
There were other people there that, it's in the valley. It just seems to be like that. I mean, people just seem to be much friendlier.
Yeah.
They were talking to us and,
telling how great the pizza was.
That would not, and if you're in Hollywood, people wouldn't talk to you like that.
No.
So it was very friendly, very small, cute little place. It's the chef, the owner his name is Benjamin Osher, and he's partnered on the pizza with his brother Jake. And the one thing I thought was really fun about the place is it's truly a family operation. So it's Ben and his brother Jake, and then his mother apparently is an art enthusiast. So she curated the artwork on the walls. And, when I first walked in, I just saw these cute pictures and the paintings and stuff. Oh, and I thought, that's cute. And I didn't really, until he actually explained that, his mother curated all the artwork on the walls. And he explained that all the pictures are of him and his brother or his family or his extended family. I thought, oh, well, that's really special.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
There was that photograph of, I think he said his grandfather.
His grandfather was a rabbi.
Yes. And when we were looking at the menu, we noticed there were some interesting things like the rabbi, which is a Reuben pie.
A Reuben sandwich.
And it didn't make any
pizza.
It didn't really make sense when you saw it on the menu. But after we met him and he kind of explained his heritage, it made total sense.
But it was one of the ones that we were choosing. So we went with the Green Monster, which was fantastic, but the Reuben was one of the ones that we were also considering. So I would love to go back and try it.
Yeah, I would definitely go back and I would actually try a few of the other ones on this list, actually. And kind of a little side note is, Ben apparently was the sous chef at Nobu, and here in a very, very, very popular restaurant here in Los Angeles. And also Mama Shelter in Hollywood. So, he's no stranger to the food world. So this seems to be his own little corner of the food world here in Los Angeles, this Gorilla Pies. So, so we got the Green Monster.
Green Monster.
And the Green Monster is cherry bomb peppers, crispy shiitake mushrooms, onion, Spinach-Ricotta Sauce, Marinara, smoked mozzarella, and we got it gorilla style on his recommendation. which is added to that is a finish with Parmesan, chili flakes, oregano, and Evo, which is olive oil. So, and it's also, I think this is the first of this kind that we've done in the series so far. He lived in Pittsburgh. I don't think he's from Pittsburgh. I think he's from here originally, but I think for a period of time he lived in Pittsburgh. And this is a Pittsburgh style inspired pizza.
Okay.
Which is kind of his other little niche. And I was reading up a little bit. I didn't know much about what Pittsburgh style pizza is. And apparently it's heavy on the cheese. And also heavy on kind of the ingredients of the toppings on the top. And I guess as a working class city, Pittsburgh being a working class, blue collar working class city, that kind of pizza is more appreciated apparently because
it's more of a meal.
Work, it's more of a meal. Exactly. It's more substantial. So I had no idea what that kind of pizza was. And also he mentioned, he actually came up and talked to us, as we mentioned, and he explained that it's a hybrid style crust. It's a little bit unusual, I guess.
Yeah, the crust
is a sourdough with added yeast to kick, I guess, I don't know what the added yeast does, but and it's a 24-hour dough. So again, as we always mention, the crust is usually the star, or should be the star of the show, and it definitely was in this case. Absolutely. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting this. It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
It was great. Actually, I hadn't even gone onto the website when you mentioned that we were going to Gorilla Pie. I actually thought it was going to be like a deep dish pizza, but no, thin crust. It was really good, and it was crispy, very, very crispy. You could taste the sourdough. It was just excellent. Excellent.
I would have to say this is in the top 3 now for me. I'm top 4, so I would say, the ones that we really liked was Dilla Nona was our first one. Hail Mary. I think we both agree that Apollonia was very good, the one we did a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I actually would place the one in downtown above that, where we got the Korean barbecue style pizza. Pie LA. So my top would be Gorilla Pizza, number 1, Hail Mary, number 2, I would say Pie LA, and then Dilla Nona.
Okay, well, so you're putting this at the top.
Oh yeah,
okay,
definitely.
Yeah. And again, this is interesting because you would not expect a pie this awesome to be located where it is.
Yeah,
that's the thing that really. And when we started this process, we thought, oh, we're going to find the best pizzas in downtown and in Hollywood, and or some other part of the city that's very highly frequented, and not in some little residential strip mall in the middle of the San Fernando Valley. But surprise. So I'm definitely going to give this one a thumbs up.
If I could, I would give it 2.
Yeah. I think we should definitely go back. I wouldn't mind actually learning. I mean, he was so engaging. This is the other thing. Most of the places that we go to, the owners aren't as engaging, and he was very, very engaging with us. And that also made a huge difference in our experience there.
Yeah,
he really, and I think that may or may not have come from, the fact that he's, chefed at some of the best restaurants in the city. So he really knows how to provide, experience.
Well, not just experience,
customers,
customer service. Yeah.
Well, that's a part of the experience. Absolutely. Yeah. So, definitely be going back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So next week's episode is going to be a place that we kind of chose. So when we were doing this, we had to start late. And so time started ticking, and everything closes at freaking 9:00.
Well, and we had a conversation with him about that, and he told us why. Well, in regards to his business, which I think it could also be the reason for other businesses closing so early. It's hard to get the customers. You have your daytime customers and then you have your evening customers, but not just the customers, it's also the type of worker. He was saying that, there's a certain type of worker that you hire for during the day. Yeah. And then there's another type of worker that you hire for the evening, more of a...
We know that because we have our own business and we have the same issues. I grew up in Indiana, in a little town in Indiana, and the pizza places, the earliest they would close would be midnight. The earliest time they would close at midnight. Sometimes they're open later than that. So I find it just odd that in the second largest city in the United States, most of the pizza places close, especially in the Valley, close at 9 o'clock at night on a Saturday. You would think, football or whatever something you're watching on TV, date night, whatever, and you'd order, the earliest you had to order a pizza would be 9 o'clock. But, apparently that's not the case. It's still perplexing to me, but anyway, so we were running low on options because we started late. So the next place that we found was Coyote Pizza Cafe in Valley Village. So we're going to try that next week.
Okay.
See you next time.